you feeling?
Good so far.
Good.
I keep having to pee. Water. 280. Can you fill that with water? 280. Yeah. Hold on to the bike there. I got it. From Omaha, Nebraska.
Yeah, man. You got your congratulations. Yeah. Towel for your neck?
Oh, yes, please. Oh, nice.
Yeah, I know. I'm like a happy woman today.
Yes, you are.
Do you like water?
Okay, so that was Gravel Worlds. Always an experience. Well, I say always, it's been twice for me now. First of all, just wanted to welcome anybody who's new to the channel, checking us out after this weekend. Welcome, thanks for watching. So, for my Nutrition and Gravel Worlds, you can watch the previous video that we made talking about my gravel simulation ride I did about 3 weeks ago. I pretty much did exactly what I was talking about there. I made up my mix, not magnesium sulfate, Jamie, but I made my mix of maltodextrin and fructose with electrolyte tablets and a little bit of caffeine in a couple of the bottles. Well, not a little bit, a lot of caffeine in a couple of the bottles. Foreshadowing. A bunch of gels on me. That was my nutrition plan, the mix and the gels. One thing I learned last year is to get there early to the race. I forget what time we exactly showed up last year. I think it was like maybe 5:30. I figured a half an hour ahead of the race, something like that would be plenty of time. I didn't count on the line for the porta potties. So this year we got there at 5. That was perfect. Maybe it didn't save me a lot of time, but it saved me a lot of anxiety, a lot of that kind of rushed feeling. I hate that rushed feeling. So yeah, that was great. We showed up early, able to go to the bathroom, and then pretty much just hang out in the start chute with some people waiting for the race to start. So I think I talked in that last video about some of my pacing strategies, the idea to just try to stay with the front group as long as I could, make hay while the sun is shining kind of a thing. Basically, I wanted to get into a group where I could benefit from a draft and just get that extra speed for the first few hours, however long it could last. When the gun went off, I heard neutral rollout and assumed it would be a neutral rollout. We were pretty much going from the gun, and I didn't expect that, so I didn't really jump into it. So I kind of got filtered back a little bit. I started maybe 3 or 4 rows back at the start, and I kind of got filtered back pretty quickly. But it was okay, I was still with the people who were intending to go fast. We hit the gravel and it was game on, and it was hard. The start was crazy fast, and I knew it would be really hard. I didn't expect it to be that hard, but it was brutal. Now, looking back at the data, I think I was kind of subconsciously holding myself back a little bit, because looking at the power numbers that I had from the first 20 minutes, I've done way more power than that for that kind of time, and even those short spikes. So I'd say I maybe lasted about right around 20 minutes before I knew that I was not going to hang on the back of that group. I continued to go pretty hard for the next maybe hour and 15 after that. Pretty soon I did find a group, and we were cruising along at a pretty good speed. The entire time my bladder kept getting more and more full. And I was thinking, come on. I thought I had done everything I needed to do to make sure I didn't have to go to the bathroom so early in the race. But I figured I was going to stick it out for as long as I could, because this group was moving great. But after a while, the group just started to fall apart. I think it was probably too fast for some people, and other people were really trying to go faster. And just like groups do in gravel races, the group really isn't helping me as much anymore, and my teeth are floating. So jumped off, ran into a cornfield, and took care of business. Figured, great, that's done, let's get on with the race. But it wasn't done. I think I had to stop and pee 4 or 5 times in the first 4 hours of this race. It was ridiculous. I would have been mad, except for I'm well hydrated. It's not like this is something bad for my performance, except for the fact that I had to stop to do it. I made the first checkpoint in just over 3 hours with 3 bathroom breaks in there, I think. Average speed of, I want to say around 19 miles an hour, which very fast for me. I was very happy with that. over hydration problems. I don't know. I have plans to try to fix that for next year. So we hit that checkpoint, and my plan had been get to the checkpoint, refill my bottles with the mix, and then just top off the Camelback with water. So I'd have a very dilute mix in the Camelback, and then I would switch to eating gels and drinking from the Camelback then. And that's what I did. It takes so long to fill up 3 different vessels at a checkpoint. I need to figure out a faster way of doing that. But I was able to leave with basically 3 liters of water. It is what it is. It took me a little bit more time than I would like, but it took me about 5 minutes to the checkpoint. So I left the checkpoint. I started with my plan of drinking from the Camelback that had kind of a dilute mix in it, and then taking gels. And I wanted to stay on that calorie intake still, because it's still only 3 hours into hopefully an 8.5 hour day. So I was taking a gel about every 15 minutes or so. I think that was a little too much. I started feeling my stomach not really nauseous, just not really happy. So my plan had been to do that, take those gels like that while I finished out the hydration pack. But after about an hour or so of that, I just didn't like how my stomach was feeling, and I felt like it would be stupid to keep doing the same thing over and over, just hoping my stomach would get better. Stopped taking the gels. It was great. Maybe half an hour later, stomach settled down, still had great energy. My mood turned around again. We had headwind, and I was getting a little bit grumpy, and then started switching my nutrition, and I started feeling better again. I only had 2 bottles though of that mix on me. So by the time I headed north again, maybe some 2 hours later, I was out of the mix. And also, I should back up. Those 2 bottles that had the mix in there also had 200 milligrams of caffeine in each bottle. So over 2 hours, I had basically the equivalent of 4 or 5 strong cups of coffee, which was the plan. And I've done that before at a mountain bike race. But then the first gel I took after I finished those was a double shot espresso gel with 175 milligrams of caffeine in it. I should have known better. I could tell pretty soon as I got closer to the checkpoint, to the second checkpoint at 131 miles in, I still had good energy. Omaha! I called it nausea at the time, but it's like your stomach is just kind of getting tense.
You Coke,
No.
pickle juice.
No, I really don't want to throw up.
All right. You vomit? Or
No.
anything?
Actually, I'm feeling all right.
Ipecac syrup.
think-
We got electrolytes.
It's like if you're really nervous about something, and it's not a nausea, but I don't know. It just kind of starts to hurt. So I kind of knew I had too much caffeine. So by the point of checkpoint 2, it was pretty obvious I wasn't going to hit my goal of 8.5 hours. So there was no point in making myself crazy miserable to still miss my goal. And it was looking like I was going to make it in under 9 hours, which was maybe kind of a sub goal for me, like a backup goal, if you could say. And I did. I made it under 9 hours. I actually rolled in to the finish at 8 hours, 51 minutes, and 55 seconds, about half an hour faster than last year. Nothing to complain about there. I have stuff I can fix for next year or maybe improve upon. My training up to the point was pretty good. I have some small tweaks I want to do to that next year, but this year was the inaugural year of the RRR Gravel Series. It's in honor of Randy Gibson, who's also the person they are honoring with the KOM and QOM jerseys. Randy was killed by a drunk driver a couple of years ago while he was on a ride. He was just a great human, great man, and he was well loved, very sorely missed. So this race series was in honor of him. It was about going fast, but it was also about doing good. So it started with the trash time trial in May. We went and did a short time trial, and then we picked up trash along the sides of the gravel roads. And you got points for how much trash you were able to pick up. And I was in the 35 to 39 age group and was able to win. So that was pretty fun. I may not have been on the podium for Gravel Worlds for anything, but I was able to get up on that top step for the Gravel Series after the main awards, which was super fun. I was excited I was gonna be able to get up there, but actually being up there, and there was still a lot of people around, it was probably the biggest podium ceremony I've ever been on a podium at, so it was super fun. I'm hoping to do that series again next year. Josh and Jen did a great job with their first year, and I'm willing to bet that they have plans to make it even better next year. So I'm excited to do that again. So I should wrap this whole thing up. It's Tuesday evening at our house and we're trying to keep the kids quiet. Thanks for watching. Anybody who's new, thank you for coming to check us out. Please hit the thumbs up button below, subscribe, and click that bell which will notify you when we have new videos up. And leave comments down below. How about tell us your most memorable experience at this year's Gravel Worlds? That could be lots of fun. That's gonna be it for this little video. We'll see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.